Tonight from Bross Court of the MacArthur Center on the campus of the Masters University, it's Golden State Athletic Conference men's basketball as the Vanguard Lions, 10-9 overall, 3-4 in the Golden State Athletic Conference, are here to take on the number 7 team in the NAIA Division I, the Masters University Mustangs, 15-3 overall, 5-2 in conference play. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. However you may be watching us or listening to us tonight, I'm Dave Caldwell. So happy that you're with us. Don't adjust your television sets because it is time to introduce the Mustangs here in this home team. And joining me right now for the moment, Steve Waldeck, the Associate Athletic Director here at the Masters University. And part of the reason that he is here is because we're here to honor the women's coach for Vanguard, Russ Davis, who is right now a very happy man down in Costa Mesa as his Vanguard Lions knocked off the number 1 team in the country, Masters, earlier tonight to give Russ Davis his 603rd win of his 24-year career. But the reason that we're here is because he is at home dealing with throat cancer. And Steve, you wanted to send out a special message to him.
Yeah, first of all, Coach, we miss seeing you, being in the same building with you. Our women's program loves competing against you and your teams over these years. Hey, they played like you teach them tonight with a big win over the number 1 team in the country. But we're just thrilled for the opportunity tonight for the proceeds from our concession stand, as well as we're accepting donations from both home and visiting fans alike to help defray some of the costs of what you've had to go through over the last 10 months. We're so thrilled that things have gone well to this point, that we believe you're cancer-free and you're just on the mend and healing up, and we really hope that you do return to the sidelines this season. We'd love to see that, and we'll celebrate that with you.
We hope that the second half of the season certainly will see the big fella strolling along the sidelines, and as you said, the GSAC conference tournament at the end of the year as well. And it's all part of a national effort, not just for Coach Russ Davis, but it is Coaches versus Cancer.
Yeah, certainly. There's a couple different initiatives that go across the Division I landscape. Right now, Coaches versus Cancer, and they're doing sneakers and suits, where some programs, coaches are in suits and sneakers trying to raise money for youth cancer research. For us, we're doing something a little bit closer to our heart with our friend right here in our conference.
Now, you going to stay with me for a little while during this first half? Or are you going to have
I
to
can
go
stay for a few minutes, and I got a few duties to attend to.
Yeah, I know you do. So the Mustangs in their home yellow jerseys win the tip. Vanguard in their road blue uniforms. This is Daryl McDowell-White, the star of the game from last Saturday up in Santa Barbara. He's going to dish it over to Brock Gardner. Starts things off with a 3. Brock, leading scorer for the Mustangs, 19.6 points a game, 3rd in the conference, 13th in the nation in scoring, and he starts things off great. And then he's going to come up with a steal back on the other side. Tries to put up the left-hander. That doesn't go, and that one is going to be tracked down by Vanguard, and in the name of Jonah Tolmare. And another steal. And another steal. That was Masih Mohammadi coming up with the steal. His shot does not work. Back down the other side. Mustangs on offense quickly. Daryl McDowell-White, 6-foot senior out of Brisbane, Australia. Is he going to take the 3 effort? That goes in and out of the cylinder, no good. The rebound pulled down by Aziz Sek, 6'7" junior out of Dakar, Senegal. Aziz's sister plays for Hope International. That's going to be an offensive foul. You're going to be calling that one against Jonah Tolmare.
Yeah, that old handoff play that you used to be able to hand off and then rub a defender off. That's being called all over college basketball the last couple of years.
Is that a point of emphasis?
Yeah, 2 years ago, I believe, is when it started, and they like to get those early in the game.
Isaiah Gentry and Christian Wilson rounding out the top 5, starting 5, I should say, for Vanguard in this game. Mustangs Jordan Starr, Daryl McDowell-White, Tim Suarez, Brock Gardner, and Michael Taylor, the starting 5 for the Mustangs. That's Michael Taylor underneath trying the reverse layup, and he's going to draw the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2, and a 48% free throw shooter for Michael Taylor. The foul's going to be called against Aziz Sek, his first, team second here in this first half. Mustangs with a 48-game home winning streak.
That's impressive at any level.
Yeah. Sure is. It's their first home game, though, in nearly 3 weeks. The schedule not friendly, Mr. Waldeck.
Yeah, been on the road for all these conference games to start the new year.
Yeah.
But like 6 of 8 at home now in conference.
And I'll tell you what, the road trip last week, not friendly for the Mustangs. They went up north, losing to Menlo and William Jessup. At the time, they were ranked number 2. They dropped to number 7 in this week's poll as a result of those 2 losses. And this is going to be a foul against Tim Suarez on Tolmere on the floor. They'll put 20 seconds on the shot clock, and Vanguard will inbound the ball.
Definitely would prefer to not have to give up a foul on Mr. Suarez out there, but he was trying to hedge that and just got caught a little late.
Nice fadeaway from Masih Mohammadi, 6-foot sophomore out of San Carlos, averaging 6.7 points a game. Started his collegiate career at Skyline College. Cuts the lead to 2 here in the early going of this GSAC men's basketball game. McDowell White, we talked about how he was the hero last Saturday, getting the game-winning shot as Gardner tries the fadeaway 3. That does not go. And that was an important win on the road up in Santa Barbara against Westmont. Westmont, one of the top-ranked teams in the country as well. And getting a good road win after having 2 previous road losses, that was huge for the Mustangs.
That was a big stretch of 3 on the road, and 3 losses in a row could have been detrimental, and they really stepped up.
Tolmere losing his footing. 5 seconds on the shot clock, and that ball is going to be off of Christian Wilson, so it will be Mustangs basketball. Head coach Rhett Soliday in his 10th year running the Vanguard Lions basketball program. 165 wins against 134 losses. But they have lost 3 in a row, have these Lions, losing to Arizona Christian, William Jessup, and Menlo. Going underneath to Suarez. Nice pass from Darryl McDowell White to get the assist. Mustangs up 6-2 in these early moments of this first half. Michael McGee has checked into the game for Vanguard. This is Wilson. And that's going to work over the 6'10 Tim Suarez. Now McDowell White stops for the 3. Nothing but net.
Boy, that transition, how quickly they fumble it down here, give up the little 2, and then within 6 seconds, exchange it for a 3.
This is Isaiah Gentry, the leading scorer for the Lions, and he's going to throw the ball away. Tim Suarez coming up with the steal. Gentry averaging 12.3 points a game, and this is going to be against the Mustangs. And that's going to be Tim Suarez. That'll be his 2nd personal foul here in the first 4 minutes and 1 second of the game.
Yeah, so Tim's going to have to go to the bench with those 2 early ones. First one was, about 17 feet from the basket on offense, and that one the same with that moving screen. Just got caught up a little bit, unfortunate.
So Sam Boone, the 6'7 senior out of Aurora, Colorado, is going to check into the game. Boone transferring from Seattle Pacific University for his final year of eligibility. And that's going to be traveling is going to be the call. Philip Willis checked in, the 6'4 freshman out of San Diego, getting called for that traveling call.
That's a 4th turnover here in just the first 4 minutes for Vanguard. A little sloppy with the ball in the offensive end.
Jordan Starr is checked in. Kicking over to Sam Boone, and he's going to step on the baseline. That's going to be a turnover for the Mustangs. That'll be their 3rd turnover.
Yeah, so a little bit of sloppy each way, and both teams kind of settling in this midweek game. Classes have started for spring semester at both institutions now, and trying to find a rhythm on the court.
Kelvin Starr is the head coach for the Mustangs in his 4th year, and if he gets a win tonight, that'll be number 100 already for Kelvin Starr at the Masters. This is Wilson. He's going to give the ball over to McGee, tries the 3. That doesn't fall. And the ball saved by Philip Willis.
Great hustle from Willis.
Kieran Hayward has checked into the game for the Lions, and we're going to have a whistle. And I think they're going to call this one. I believe did they call this on Michael Taylor? I think so.
I believe so.
That'll be his first, team's third in this first half. So Kelvin Starr's going to go to the bench and bring in DJ Wilson to replace Taylor. 20 seconds on the shot clock for Vanguard. They'll inbound it under their own basket. And that's going to be a foul against Jordan Starr. He's got his palms to the sky saying, "What did I do?" Body contact. So they're going to call a foul against Jordan Starr, his first. And already 4 team fouls committed by the Mustangs in the first 5 minutes of this first half. Excuse me. There's Michael McGee. Giving it over to Willis. Willis back to McGee. McGee with Starr on him. Fade away. Fades away from everything. Save for the moment by Wilson, and then McGee driving in, loses control of that. Ball ends up in the hands of Sam Boone, and he's going to throw it away, trying to get the ball over to DJ Wilson.
Yeah,
So
David, we've mentioned it once already, but both teams still just trying to find their way, find a little bit of rhythm, not able to get into the things that they want to do on the offensive end.
These two teams really not the best when it comes to turnovers in the GSAC. 8th and 9th, respectively, Mustangs and Lions. And that one from Hayward is not going to work. Mustangs turning the ball over an average of 14 and a half times on the season. Lions nearly 16. There's yet another turnover. Both teams now with 5 here in the early going. That's going to be a whistle. It's going to be away from the play, and I think it's going to be against the Mustangs again. And this will be Sam Boone, his first, team's 5th, just 6 minutes into the game.
I missed that one. I was watching off ball on the other side of the lane, so I can't tell you what happened, but apparently maybe he swam over the top of him, and that's where they called the hold.
Here's Wilson working on Boone, trying to post up, using the body. That doesn't work. Starr is going to knock the ball away, but it goes onto the baseline. As Rhett Soliday is going to go to the bench, and he's going to bring in Dominic St. Leon, the 5'8 sophomore out of McKinney, Texas. He'll be inbounding the ball. And there's a question because the shot clock had 30 seconds on, but they needed to put it on 20 seconds. So Vanguard back into the offense. McGee stripped by Starr, and they're going to have a whistle. They're going to call Jordan Starr for his second personal foul. 6th team foul already for the Masters.
Yeah, this is a moment where the Mustangs are going to have to just play through the fact that they're almost into the bonus. In fact, the rest of the way of this first half, almost 14 minutes, Vanguard will be shooting at least 1-1. But they're just going to have to play through that and move on. We're not going to be able to change what's already occurred.
And as a free throw shooting team, Vanguard second from the last, shooting under 64%. But McGee makes the first of his free throws.
This is a big opportunity for the freshman Jeremiah Turley as he comes in, forced into action a little earlier here because of the foul trouble, but a great opportunity for the local Southern California product to make an impact tonight.
5'11 freshman out of Inglewood is Jay Turley. McGee is 70% free throw shooter. He's made the first. And he makes them both. Cuts the lead to 3 for the Masters. And finally, the Mustangs are on offense. It's felt like it's been about 10 or 15 minutes since the Mustangs were last on offense. There's McDowell White getting it to Turley. Now, Gardner. Nice move with the ball, but too hard off the back of the rim for Gardner, and the rebound is going to be pulled down by McGee.
Good offensive execution there as the ball moved, and then Gardner got to the rim.
Three-point effort by Willis. A little bit long. Good offensive rebound by Wilson. He's going to try to put it back up. That doesn't go. McDowell White grabbing the rebound. Gardner, top of the key for three. That misses everything. That'll go out of bounds, and Vanguard will have the possession. 13 minutes to go in the first half. Low-scoring game. These two defenses, two of the three best in the conference. Mustangs second, averaging 69.3 points that they give up, while Vanguard gives up 71 points a game. Kind of the difference, though, Steve, is that the Vanguard offense struggling. 8th best in the conference. They average 76 points a game. The Mustangs up to 82.
Yeah, the style of play that the Mustangs have on offense, they put the ball up so quickly. That's why other teams get more possessions and also score more.
Gardner kicks it out to Turley. Back to Gardner. Three. In and out. Gardner hit his first shot of the game, which was a three in the opening seconds of the game. He has been shut out ever since. That's Hayward putting up a three. And Turley is going to be battling with St. Leon. And they're going to call St. Leon for his first personal foul. Jonah Tolmere will come back in, as will Isaiah Gentry for the Lions. Turley gets it across midcourt. Boone left alone at the top of the key. And that one's going to be knocked out by Hayward. "17 seconds on the shot clock. Mustangs will inbound the ball. Here's Boone. Shooting 33% from behind the arc, but he's passed up a couple of open looks right now. 7 on the shot. Brock Gardner. Turley, 2 seconds. Gets to the left elbow. Puts up the shot with just 1 second on the shot clock, and he is going to be fouled. Aziz Sek called for the foul. That'll be his second personal, team's fourth, and that should put Jay Turley to the line to shoot two. Turley, a 56% free throw shooter. Had a career high 11 points against Calgary this year. Mustangs shooting 66% from the free throw line, which is 8th best. As I said, two of the three worst free throw shooting teams in the conference on the floor here. Michael McGee is going to check back in. He'll come in for Aziz Sek, who's going to have a seat with those two fouls that he's committed. And Turley misses both free throws. Here's Kieran Hayward. Spins, gets into the paint, puts up a left-hander, doesn't go. Ball tipped away. I think that was McDowell White that tipped it away and got it into the hands of Jay Turley. Michael Taylor's checked back into the game. He's got the ball under the basket. He'll be fouled.
Well, another opportunity for the Mustangs to score some points from the free throw line. When the struggle's real from the field, you got to cash in on these opportunities from the stripe. I believe the Mustangs have missed 3 from the charity stripe so far, but we'll see if we can turn the tide here.
Missed 3 out of 4 tries. Only 1 of 4 from the stripe right now. Dominic St. Leon was tabbed with his second personal foul, so he'll have a seat as Masih Mohammadi will come back into the game for the Lions. The lid is shut tight for the Mustangs from the free throw line here on their home court. Wowzer. And I look at the coaches on the bench, and they're shaking their head. The Mustangs now 1 of 6 from the line here in the opening half. This is Tolmere. Gets to the paint, going to kick it out instead. Driving now is Mohammadi. Whistle, count it! The foul's going to be called against DJ Wilson. Mohammadi.
No, it's a charge, David. Right as you look down. His signal looked like he was counting it. I agree with you, but he was punching it as an offensive foul.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which I think is the right call. I was shocked because I thought he was counting it as well.
So for Mohammadi, that was his first personal. Both teams now with 16 fouls. We're just inside of 11 minutes still to play in the first half. Sam Boone spins as he gets into the paint, and we're going to have bodies on the floor. I think this one's going to go against the Masters. And they're going to call this one against Michael Taylor. Second personal for Michael Taylor.
We're going to have bonus at the other end as neither team is even scoring a point per minute.
It's true.
At this point, and I'll tell you what, from these two clubs over the last couple of years, most people would say this couldn't possibly be true, this score line, because both of these teams have had reputations for high-flying offense. It was just some 6 years ago that Rhett Soliday took his team all the way, and they were national champions.
That's right. So going to the line for the 1-and-1 is Michael McGee. He'll make the first, he'll get a second. The Mustangs last year, at one point, were averaging right around 90 points a game. This year down to just under 82 points a game.
The one thing about this team, though, they can still score points in bunches.
Yeah.
There may be 9 points in 9 minutes.
That's true.
But we could have 9 points in less than a minute here in 3 possessions. So we'll see if they can get it on track.
The offense for the Mustangs as a three-point shooting team, number 1 defensively, 9th in the nation, holding opponents to just 30% from the arc. That looked like that was traveling. Mustangs getting away with that one. And the battle for the offensive board, though, it's going to be won by Masih Mohammadi for the Lions. The Lions looking to see if they can take the lead for the first time in this game. That's McGee, and McDowell White skying to get the rebound.
Such an interesting environment in here right now. There's just like a lot of chatter from the fans, like wanting to go, yeah, we want to cheer, we want to do certain things. Like we just haven't seen this lack of flow, I guess, from one of our teams this season here at Bross Court.
Tim Suarez not on the floor. Picked up foul trouble early. He's got 2. So he's been on the bench for the better part of the last 5 minutes of game time. Here's Brock Gardner. Spins, drops it off to Boone. Boone gets into the paint. He's going to drop the ball off to Wilson. Now McDowell White for 3, and a near impossible shot over Jonah Tolmere. And then back on the other side, Turley is going to foul Tolmere. But what a three-point shot from Daryl McDowell White.
Yeah, he rose so high above the defender and was able to just release that, and it ended pure.
Daryl McDowell White starting his collegiate career at Fresno State before coming over here to the Masters. And with that being the 8th team foul, Vanguard in the bonus. So Tolmere will go to the line at 57% free throw shooter. 1-and-1. And right now, a big difference in the game. Vanguard is a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line. The Mustangs just 1 of 6.
The other place where Vanguard has the advantages on the offensive boards. The Mustangs have had a couple recently, but Vanguard had 4 or 5 early.
They've got 4 officially. 4 offensive boards, 16 rebounds to 8 for the Mustangs. Big difference right there, and yet it's the Mustangs with the 2-point lead right now. Here's Gardner. Backing his way in. And they're going to call traveling against Gardner. He was trying to lean himself in, but the And I didn't see who the defender was. He had backed away.
Yeah, and David, certainly haven't said this yet, but I think we need to give the Vanguard defense some credit. The way that they are collapsing when the ball goes in, and they seem to be confusing the Mustang offense a little bit, so they are definitely being disruptive. So we need to give some credit where that's due.
And at the risk of sounding like a homer, as that's going to be the first buckets in several minutes. Now 3 of 15 for Vanguard, because you mentioned the Vanguard defense limiting the Mustangs to just 4 of 13. There's Boone trying to dunk, and he's going to get fouled as he does so. The foul is going to be called against Isaiah Gentry.
That was a great find from Turley. Beat his man and then had his eyes up and found Boone there on the right block.
Trying to break the tie, Sam Boone, a 67% free throw shooter. So he does get both of them. The first time the Mustangs have been able to make 2 free throws in a row in the game tonight. Here's Isaiah Gentry. Loose ball picked up by Christian Wilson. Wow. Here's Tolmare. Going to drop the ball off, and that effort by Gentry is going to go off of one of the Mustangs. So the Vanguard Lions will have just 1 second on the shot clock to try to make something happen with this.
Not
inbound.
a whole lot of plays in your playbook for this one.
Nope. It's going to be a catch and release about as soon as possible. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. So the turnover committed by Vanguard, their 8th. Here in this first half, 8.5 to go in the first half.
Yeah, solid defending there on the inbounds from the Mustangs. You know, many times you're thinking, teams will relax when they see just 1 second, like they're not going to have time. And how many times do we see them get a little bunny under the rim? Well, the Mustangs stay disciplined. They force that pass 25 feet from the rim and earned that shot clock violation.
Anton Mozga has checked into the game for the Mustangs, 6'5" freshman out of Hemet. Here's Boone to Turley. Here's Mozga. Gets to the left elbow, puts up the shot. Gardner grabs an offensive rebound. That's big. Takes it right back to the hole, and it's good.
And Gardner scored over 3 defenders that had collapsed to him there on the block.
4-point lead for the Mustangs. Brock now with 5. Tolmare driving, gets the rebound, quickly fires it over to Wilson. That does not go, and coming out of the fray, McDowell White, he quickly pushes the tempo. And he loses control of it. McGee back the other end. Blocked by McDowell White.
David, I'll tell you what, Daryl McDowell White is very likely the best athlete on the court tonight. All 25 on both rosters. And I'll tell you what, I think everyone of the officiating crew was surprised that he actually got up on top of that.
Yeah.
And he may have fouled him following through, but I don't think they thought there was any way he could get to the ball without fouling.
Well, and you were talking about how this crowd is kind of waiting for something. It's like, should we cheer? We don't know. Well, they finally got to erupt, and that emotion can usually ignite a team. And it also doesn't help when your free throw shooter misses everything.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment.
Just stating the fact, that's all. Michael McGee, a 70% free throw shooter. And that one just ticks off the front of the rim as well. He was 4 for 4 from the free throw line tonight before that sequence. Let's see if the Mustang offense can use that defense from McDowell White. Mosga for 3. That's not going to work. And there's McDowell White getting the offensive rebound. Mosga feeding Boone. Boone, reverse layup. Nice defense that time from Christian Wilson. Seven minutes to go in the first half. It's going to be an offensive foul against Vanguard. Specifically, it's going to be Michael McGee. McGee has not had a good last couple of minutes. Yeah, I think he may just be feeling some frustration. He's over talking to the officials going, what did I do wrong?
Well, David, watching that, he bumped a cutter out top and kind of got the attention of the official. Then when he went and bodied up again up top, that second slight contact drew the whistle. The first contact was more severe, but got the attention.
McDowell White double teamed. He's going to turn the ball over. This is Mohammadi going to try the 3, and he's got it. First 3 of the game knocked down by Vanguard. They're now 1 of 6. On the season, Vanguard a 34% three-point shooting team, 7th best in the conference. Boone trying to see if he can get a cutting McDowell White, but that ball is going to be stolen by Mohammadi. Vanguard back the other way. Here's Mohammadi pulling up for the 3. That's not going to go. Gardner's going to grab the rebound for the Mustangs, his 4th of the game. McDowell White's going to get fouled. And that's going to mean free throws for the Mustangs as Philip Willis called for the foul. His first. Both teams right now with 9 team fouls. So McDowell White will go to the line for the 1-and-1 as we're going to see Tim Suarez checking into the game. First time he's had some action since about the 5-minute mark into this first half.
Yeah, and that answers a question that we were probably thinking we hadn't stated if he was going to have to sit all the way through halftime, but Coach Starr is going to let one of his stars come out and hopefully find a little rhythm and help jumpstart this Mustang offense, particularly in the paint, where it has been a hard road and it has been clogged up for us offensively by the Lion defense.
Well, I'll tell you what, the lid is over the top of the rims here at Ross Court for the Mustangs from the free throw line now, just 3 of 9. And they're going to have DJ Wilson called for the foul. That will be the 10th team foul. So that means double bonus with 5:55 still to go in this first half. Willis is 66% free throw shooter.
Now it's contagious.
Yeah, it is. Wow. Suarez grabs the rebound. Wow. Still a 1-point lead for the Masters. Kind of going off of your point earlier, Steve, these two offenses traditionally have been so prolific as McDowell White's going to try the 3, and he's going to end up on his backside. No whistle. Rebound pulled down by Mohammadi. But did you expect to see such a low-scoring first half? 16-15 so far.
Not at all. Not at all.
Wilson. Suarez. That one's going to be off to the left. McDowell White gets the rebound. Kicks it out to Wilson. I don't know why it did reset to 20 seconds. Jump ball. The possession is pointing to Vanguard. Wow, this has been such a physical game. Both teams, for all intents and purposes, in the double bonus as Rhett Soliday is going to call a timeout with 5:01 to play in the first half. And going back to my point, the Mustangs have 10 team fouls Vanguard has 9 team fouls, but obviously the next one means it's going to be the double bonus the rest of the way for the Masters. But free throws, they've been hard to get here tonight so far, Steve.
Yeah, they have, and part, I think, the physicality of the game hasn't really even come in the normal flow of offense when we say, wow, it's physical. A lot of it's come because there's been so many rebounds to have. Bodies are crashing, the ball's being fumbled, guys diving on the floor. I think both teams really would like to find a little bit higher piece of skill right now because they're still just it's a little sloppy, and it's hard to find your rhythm. There are such talented basketball athletes on this court, and I think that's what kind of the conversations are in the crowd right now. Is that's what we want to see. The effort's there. They're on the floor. They're flying around the rim.
But the pure basketball, what we want to see, the shooting.
Right. And obviously, American basketball fans, we want to see scoring.
Right now, Vanguard shooting just 19% from the field, 4 of 21. Mustangs aren't that much better. They're 5 of 19, which is 26%. So when you see stats like that, do you say it's bad shooting, or do you say it's good defense?
I think it's been good defense, being very disruptive to the flow. And
this is Wilson getting a nice bounce pass from Gentry, but that one's going to get kicked out instead. Here's Wilson trying to work off of Suarez. The right hand is good. And Vanguard takes the lead, 4:39 to play in the first half. It's their first lead of the game. Ball knocked away by Willis, so McDowell-White just goes back to retrieve it. He's going to drive in. Right-hander is good. Mustangs retake the lead.
I think it's interesting that timeout 30 seconds ago, first timeout of the game by either coach. Each coach was trying to let their players play through this, and so we'll see if they stop the game anymore the rest of the way to set something up.
Well, after losing 2 of the last 3 games, all 3 of those on the road for the Mustangs. Talking to Kelvin Starr before the game, and I said, "You ready for this?" And he said, "Well, coaches are. Are the players? We'll see."
What a great response. It's going to make you answer your question.
McDowell-White spins, little Euro step. He's going to kick it out to Wilson. He'll launch a 3. That's not going to go. And I think they're calling traveling. Yeah, they did. I was blocked from it, but in looking at what happened, it seemed to me like it should have been traveling. It was.
Yeah, and that's a place where he reached in, got his hands on the ball, and when he ripped the ball away, he spun himself around to the ground. So there wasn't defensive contact constituting a foul.
Philip Willis, the one called for that travel. So Mustangs inbounding it. They have 30 seconds on the clock. Tim Suarez says, "I don't need no stinking 30 seconds. I'm taking it right to the rack." That's not going to work. A rebound pulled down by Jordan Hurst, getting into the game for the Lions. Already, Rhett Soliday, I believe, he's used just about everybody he's got on the bench. We still have 3:18 to play in the first half. There's Wilson. The ball just saved by Masih Mohammadi. And before he crosses into the backcourt with his body on the floor, he's calling timeout.
Yeah, pretty heads-up play to maintain possession.
Wow. The Mustangs coming off of a big win, like we said, on Saturday night after back-to-back road losses on the road up north. They beat number 4 Westmont 70-69 in a game that saw Darryl McDowell-White in the closing seconds of the game make a drive through the paint on the right side, lay it off the glass to secure that 1-point win.
Yeah.
Very dramatic, and it was the number 3 play by the NAIA this week in their top 5 plays of the week.
Well, if that's the number 3 play of the week, I need to see number 2 and number 1 so I can help be the judge of that. You know, and what kind of got lost in all that, because it was pretty special if you're a Mustang fan, that shot that went in with 2 seconds left was with 9 seconds left. Westmont hit a 3 in the corner to go up 1 when they were down 2 to set that up. So both teams were just, great offense at the end of that game.
And that's what you want to see, some team that's going to win it. Both teams were on the verge of being able to do that. Here's Hayward, blocked by Gardner. 2 big defensive plays here in this first half Is that going to be what's going to ignite this Mustang team?
Well, I think defense is, or we may just have to settle in, David, and accept the fact that defense is going to be the theme of this one.
Mustangs averaging just under 5 blocks per game. That is number 1 in the conference, number 5 nationally. Mosga feeds Suarez, gets into the paint. No shot. There's a foul. The foul's going to be called. I believe it's Kieran Hayward called for the foul. But that will be the double bonus now for the Mustangs, so that will put Tim Suarez to the line to shoot 2. Suarez, the second leading scorer on this team behind Brock Gardner. Suarez averaging 18.3 points a game. From the free throw line, 69%. Mustangs 3 of 10 from the line right now in this game. Michael Taylor about ready to check into the game, but he's going to be coming in for Suarez. And Tim Suarez misses. Suarez right now the GSAC Player of the Week for what he was able to do in the second half. We talked again that Westmont game on Saturday. We talked about McDowell White's heroics, but Suarez 14 second-half points to finish out with 26 in the game to go with 11 rebounds to help the Mustangs with that win. There's Suarez with the dunk. Suarez joins his sister as Players of the Week this week. Steph Suarez being tabbed for her 4th Player of the Week honor in 5 attempts. Ball knocked out of bounds, but it will be Vanguard basketball as Michael Taylor will come into the game for the Mustangs. Michael McGee and Isaiah Gentry will re-enter for Vanguard. This is Gentry. Losing control, and now Gentry's grabbing his right knee. McDowell White's going to lay it in, but Gentry is hobbling.
And that's 2 straight possessions with fast break points for the Mustangs for their biggest lead of the evening.
Here's McGee, steps up for the 3 off the front of the rim. No good. DJ Wilson with the rebound. Quickly down to McDowell White. He lays it in. That's 3 in a row now. And now Rhett Soliday calls a timeout to try to keep this thing from getting out of control as the Mustangs now up by a touchdown, 24-17.
Yeah, 6 straight points on 3 transition layups. I guess the first was a dunk. And that's scoring in bunches there.
And I think it's actually an 8-0 run because if I'm not mistaken, Vanguard had taken the lead for the first time in the game. It was 17-16. Ever since then, the Mustangs have gone straight, 8 straight points to take now this 7-point lead.
Yep. And but again, David, each of those runouts have started from the defense. 2 of them were turnovers. 1 was a rebound and a kick out. So the theme of the game, the defense now has actually led to offense as we've been able to beat the Vanguard pressure down the court.
Mustangs averaging 42.5 rebounds a game. That's 3rd best in the conference versus Vanguard, 33.7 rebounds, nearly a 10 rebound difference by average per game between the Mustangs and Vanguard. Vanguard 9th, but in this game today, when you look at total rebounds, it's Vanguard that's got the advantage on the boards, 24-20.
Wow.
Offensive boards, Vanguard with 6 versus 3. And we mentioned it earlier in the first half how some of these stats, you look at this, the poor shooting on both sides, which may mean great defense from both sides as well. But the fact of the matter is, it wasn't for this little spurt of 8-0 that the Mustangs are on, this game is a 1-point difference.
Absolutely, and that little spurt because points have been at a premium, in a game that's maybe played at a higher pace, a higher point game, this is equivalent to a 14, 16-point lead with how hard buckets have been to come by.
And you have to kind of point to those 2 blocks, one by Daryl McDowell White, which was actually officially a foul, but then Gardner coming up with a big block as that 3-point effort put up by Muhammad, he doesn't go, and taking it back the other way is DJ Wilson. But the defense sparking the emotion in the crowd certainly that maybe help propel the Mustangs to that 8-0 run, and are they going to add to that right here with 1:08 to go in the first half? 10 on the shot clock. Gardner, a long three. Does not work. Michael Taylor gets the rebound. Mosga in the corner for three. That doesn't go. Brock Gardner, another rebound, another attempt. And now we're going to have a whistle. This one's going to go against Vanguard, which means it's going to be free throws for the Mustangs. First personal foul for Christian Wilson, but that's going to put Brock Gardner to the line. He's a 77% free throw shooter on the season. These will be his first free throws tonight, where the Mustangs are struggling, 3 of 11. And when Greg Hayes is sitting beside me, when we're calling these games, he'll often say sometimes you just need to see the ball go through the hoop to know it can do that.
Absolutely.
10 straight points, 10 unanswered points for the Mustangs. They lead it now by 9. 40 seconds to go in the first half. We're going to have a foul. I think Turley, Jay Turley is going to be called for the foul. Nassi Mohammadi along the sideline there. So Mohammadi will go to the line. He's an 86% free throw shooter. And that free throw breaks the 10-0 run for the Mustangs. Wow. Struggle continues to be real for both teams from the line. Here's Turley. Boone. 7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. The shot clock is down to 10 seconds. That one's going to be knocked away by Willis. 12 seconds to go in the half. This is Willis with the ball. Left-hander off the glass, and it's good. And that's going to be the end of the first half. The Mustangs had a 10-0 run in the midst of it, had as much as a 9-point lead, but then it's closed out. The final 3 points scored by the Vanguard Lions, and the Mustangs take a 26-20 lead into the locker room. We'll take a look at the first half stats when we return and get you set up for the second half of this GSAC men's basketball game. Halftime here at Bross Court in the MacArthur Center on the campus of the Masters University, where the Mustangs, ranked number 7 in the country in the NAIA Division I, with the 26-20 lead over the Vanguard Lions. We'll kind of give you a little scoring updates from around the GSAC at the half. Up in Santa Barbara, Hope International and Westmont, they're tied at 34 apiece. Hope ranked number 18 in the country. Westmont number 4 in the country. So that one's an interesting one. Menlo easily taking care of Arizona Christian. That one is into the second half. 17 minutes to go in the second half in that one. And the Oaks leading the Firestorm 59-41. Arizona Christian ranked number 23 in the country. But here, Mustangs in a defensive battle against the Vanguard Lions. Leading at 26-20 are the Mustangs. And the defense has been fantastic on both sides. The numbers dictate that, certainly. Vanguard shooting just 21%, 6 of 28 in the first half. And then the numbers get worse when you start talking about behind the arc for the Lions. Just 1 of 11 from behind the arc on the season. The Lions shooting 34% from three-point range. Leading scorers, Masih Mohammadi with 6 and Christian Wilson with 6 points to pace the Lions. Wilson has also pulled down 4 rebounds to lead the Lions. Both the Lions and the Mustangs with 24 rebounds apiece. 6 rebounds offensively for Vanguard, 5 for the Mustangs. Mustangs led by Daryl McDowell-White, both with points and on the defensive side. McDowell-White with 12 points on 5 of 8 shooting, 2 of 5 from three-point range, and he's pulled down 6 rebounds. Brock Gardner with 7 points and 5 rebounds. Tim Suarez was in foul trouble early, sat at about the 5-minute mark of the first half, didn't come back for about 10 game time minutes later, so he's got 4 points and 4 rebounds in the game. Brock Gardner with a pair of blocks. The Mustangs shooting 33%, so that too not near what they normally do. 47% on the season they average do the Mustangs from the field. And the Mustangs also 3 of 13 from behind the arc. That is 23% on the season, nearly 36%. So the defense has been fantastic for both of these teams here in the first half. But it's what matters most is the score. The Mustangs holding on to the 6-point lead. Now the Mustangs are going to be moving from our left to right as we get action underway here in the second half. And they've got the basketball, and that lasted all of 5 seconds because Tolmer comes up with the steal, and then McDowell-White comes back and fouls him after having his pocket picked. So for McDowell-White, that'll be his second personal foul. First team foul, obviously, and so that's going to put Jonah Tolmer to the line, where he's a 57% free throw shooter. Tonight he's 2 for 2. There's only 2 points of the game coming from the free throw line. And he makes that look easy. Vanguard now 8 of 13 when you include that last free throw from the free throw line, and it'll be 8 of 14. The Mustangs, though, 5 of 13 from the free throw line in the first half. Both teams put each other into the double bonus, and that's going to be a great play defensively from Christian Wilson to come up with the steal. So the Mustangs opening up this second half, back-to-back possessions, back-to-back turnovers. Here's Wilson trying to back his way in. Bounce pass over to Isaiah Gentry. Gentry's still trying to get himself on track. Still looking for his first points of the game. Leading scorer for Vanguard, coming in averaging just under 12.5 points a game. But so far in this one, Gentry is 0 for 3 from the field. Here is Brock Gardner trying to three. Doesn't go, and the long rebound comes down to Tolmer. And then McDowell-White picks the pockets. Gets the ball down to Suarez, and he's going to get fouled. The foul will be called against Aziz Sek, and I believe that will be his third. Yes, it is. The third personal foul for the 6'7" junior, Aziz Sek. Tim tonight 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Quickly jumping up, James Moore for Vanguard. Calling out the sub, and they're going to grant it. So he's going to come in as Aziz Sek is going to have a seat after he's picked up his third personal foul. James Moore, 6'4" junior out of Talco, Texas. Second leading scorer on this team with 10 points a game. So Suarez makes his first free throw of the game, now 1 of 4. Mustangs now 6 of 15. They have a 6-point lead. Here's Gentry. He's going to give the ball over to Moore. Now Christian Wilson has that one taken away. And then that is going to go off of one of the Mustangs, and I could not see who it went off of. But Vanguard will get the ball back. There's Moore working that big body against Michael Taylor, trying to back his way in, and he gives the ball off to Isaiah Gentry, and he finally gets the basket, his first bucket of the night. That could be dangerous if you are a Mustang fan. It could be joy if you're a Lions fan. Because if Isaiah Gentry can start getting on fire, that will close the gap and perhaps give the Lions the lead, as there's going to be a whistle away from the action. This is going to be Jonah Tolmare called for a foul, his second personal, second team foul. So Mustangs will put 20 seconds back on the clock. Brock Gardner is going to step back, try the three. That works. The Mustangs back up by 6 points. This is Wilson working his way against Michael Taylor. That works. Christian Wilson now with 8 points. It has Daryl McDowell-White. 16 points for McDowell-White to lead everybody. Tolmare steps up in the right elbow. That shot doesn't go. And that ball, they're going to say, went off of James Moore. So the Mustangs will have the ball. They lead by 6. 17 and a half to go. McDowell-White losing control of it. Tolmare ending up on the floor. Now McDowell-White will pull up. That'll be short of the mark. It'll go out of bounds. Vanguard with the basketball. Mustangs with Michael Taylor, Brock Gardner, Tim Suarez, Jordan Starr, and Daryl McDowell-White on the floor. Tolmare, James Moore, Christian Wilson, Isaiah Gentry, and Masi Mohammadi on the floor for the Lions. This is Tolmare for 3. That one's going to be short of the mark. And Jordan Starr will pull down the rebound for the Mustangs. His first rebound. Down the other side, Tim Suarez is going to run into a whole lot of bodies. I think this one's going to go against Moore. Nope, excuse me. That's going to be Jonah Tolmare picking up his third personal foul. Third team foul. So Suarez back to the line. He'll shoot 2. Philip Willis is going to check in for Jonah Tolmare, having a seat on the bench with those 3 personal fouls. Suarez makes both of those free throws. And Tim now with 7 in the game to go with 5 rebounds. The lead is 8 for the Mustangs, their largest of the game. Christian Wilson That one's knocked out by Michael Taylor. One of those good hustle plays that never end up in a stat sheet. Here's Wilson working on Suarez. That ball's going to go out of bounds. Tim, great defense. He just stood straight up with his arms in the air. Wilson tried to bounce off of him, but loses control of the basketball. So the Mustangs will get it back. And Wilson's going to have a seat on the bench as Michael McGee will check back in for the Lions. Taylor to Suarez, a little give and go. Taylor losing control of it as it go off of his knee. So another turnover for the Mustangs. Both teams now with 14 turnovers in this game. And I think the ball got a little sweat on it. Our officials tonight, Martin Jacoki, Eddie Shannon, Tom Pauly. Get the ball dried off and get back to the action. Mohammadi. Willis for three. Got it! First three of the game for Philip Willis. Just the third three of the game for Vanguard. And McDowell White quickly back down the other end and easily lays it in. And ball out of bounds off of Jordan Starr. McDowell White, 16 points in the game. And they're looking to see if they can reset the clock, I believe. They're going to put 24 seconds on the shot clock. In the meantime, Kieran Hayward will check in for Vanguard. He'll come in for Masi Mohammadi. Three-pointer put up by Moore. And a ball, long rebound that Tim Suarez just happens to be at the right place, right time. Sixth rebound of the game for Tim. Gardner for three. Tipped in by Michael Taylor. Michael Taylor, 6'6", 230 pounds. His first points of this game. First shot that he put up in this game. Willis giving it over to McGee. McGee's going to drive in, dropping it off to Moore, and Moore, little hesitation, and it tipped in, and I believe that was McGee that was able to tip that ball in as we're inside of 15 to go in this game. The Mustangs up by 7. And Suarez is going to get fouled. And they're going to call James Moore for the foul. First personal for Moore, fourth team foul for Vanguard. And Suarez gets the ball from the right elbow up over the top of Moore. That's 6'10" over 6'4". That's going to work just about most times. The Mustangs up by 9. Willis, a nice pass, but the shot goes over the top of the rim by Moore, and the rebound pulled down by Suarez. 9.7 rebounds now for Tim. Here's Gardner driving the baseline, and he's going to throw that one away, trying to get it to Taylor. And Taylor was starting to cut in, and Brock was trying to drop it off behind. Mustangs now up to 40% from the field, 14 of 35. They're 5 of 8 here in the second half, as I'm trying to do the math in my head. 5 of 8 from the field are the Mustangs in the second half. That's Hayward. Little step back three, nothing but net. First points of the game for Hayward. He's now 1 of 7 from the field. Hayward averaging better than 8 points a game. Hayward coming from Sydney, Australia. We've got a couple Australians on this game. Is this Aziz Sek is going to get picked up, is picking up his 4th personal foul, 5th team foul. So Mustangs with 20 seconds on the shot clock. That's Daryl McDowell White, and he is fouled. Count it. He's going to maybe have that 4-point play. Philip Willis called for the foul. And the guys on the bench are calling over to McDowell White. Did you call bank? Because even though he was in the corner, somehow he was able to bank that shot off the glass. Now for the 4-point play. And he does it. 10-point lead for the Masters. That's their biggest lead of the game. Dominic St. Leon is into the game for Vanguard. That's him right there with the ball. Quickly gets it over to Isaiah Gentry. He tries a three. That doesn't go, and Jordan Starr's there to get the rebound for the Mustangs. Ball tipped away by Sek into the hands of St. Leon. And what a shot by Isaiah Gentry. And they're going to call a three-pointer. That one's good. Brock Gardner is going to be called for the foul. So we saw one 4-point play. Now can Isaiah Gentry get a 4-point play for his Lions? DJ Wilson has checked into the game. He'll come in for Daryl McDowell White. Gentry, a 77% free throw shooter. His first free throw of the game. So a 4-point play. We've seen 2 4-point plays in the last minute. And it takes a 10-point lead down to a 6-point lead for the Mustangs. This is Wilson. A no look from Jordan Starr, and there's Gentry coming up with the steal. And I think Suarez is going to get called for the foul, and that's exactly what's going to happen. That should be Tim's third. The Mustangs' third in this second half. Vanguard has 6 team fouls. St. Leon gets it to Gentry. Now Hayward. Hayward's going to drive. Blocked by Suarez. Ball goes out of bounds. So the Lions will have 12 seconds on the shot clock. And they'll inbound it under their own basket. Gentry, catch and shoot. And then he decided to pass it off instead to Sek, and he throws it away. 15 turnovers now for Vanguard. The Masters, though, have 17. Gardner. Nice pass to the cutting DJ Wilson. Wilson with his first 2 points of this game. Hayward driving, and that ball is stripped away. And I don't know if it was Taylor or Jordan Starr that stripped it. Starr came up with the ball and gets it over to Wilson. Here's Taylor. Throws it away. Sek comes up with the steal. Quickly down the floor to Hayward. Hayward going for the dunk. And Suarez was right there going up for the block, and they're going to call Tim for a foul. And that will be his 4th for the 6'10 senior. And as we mentioned in the first half, Tim Suarez, the reigning GSAC Player of the Week. He'll have a seat. McDowell White's going to come back into the game. 11:44 to play in the game. Mustangs up by 8. And I would imagine Tim's going to have quite a bit of time on the bench. And perhaps Kelvin Starr, he's looking for his 100th win at the Masters University. He's going to save the big fella for the end of the game. Meantime, St. Leon attempting. Oh, excuse me. That's Hayward shooting the free throws. 66% on the season for Hayward. And he makes both of his first 2 attempts in this game. 6-point difference again with the Mustangs on top. Wilson to Starr. McDowell White in the corner, 3. Rebound pulled down by Isaiah Gentry. Quickly down to St. Leon. Trying to drop it off to Sek, and instead Gardner's going to come up with the steal. And then we're going to have a kick. And we're going to have a foul. The foul's going to be called against Kieran Hayward. That'll be his second personal, but it's the 7th team foul, and with 11:18 to play in the game, that's going to put Brock Gardner on the line for the 1-and-1. Gardner now 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 11 points. 11 points, 5 rebounds. So he gets them both. Mustangs right now paced by Darryl McDowell White with his 20 points. Gardner, the second leading scorer, with 12 now. Whistle, and this one's going to go against the Mustangs, specifically DJ Wilson is going to get tabbed with his second personal foul, 5th team foul. Jonah Tolmer is going to check back into the game. He'll come in for Dominic St. Leon. Remember, Tolmer, he's playing with 3 personal fouls. Had to sit out early in the second half when he picked up that 3rd personal. Here's Moore. They're going to call him for a carry. Both teams now with 18 turnovers. We mentioned it early in the game that these two teams rank 8th and 9th. Mustangs 8th. Vanguard 9th in turnovers. Gardner, too hard. Sek grabs the rebound. Second rebound of the game for Aziz Sek. He's had to spend some time on the bench getting into foul trouble as that 3-point effort put up by Gentry no good. Ball knocked away, ball on the ground. Contact. Foul's going to be called against Isaiah Gentry. That'll be his 3rd personal. Excuse me, that'll be his... No, it will be his 3rd personal. 8th team foul. And McDowell White to the line for the 1-and-1. Moore grabs the rebound for Vanguard. Tolmer driving into the lane. Boy, he had Michael Taylor and Jordan Starr right there all around him, trying to get the ball up and over the top, and instead the ball goes out of bounds. So the Mustangs will take over possession. Massi Mohammadi will come back in for Vanguard. He's going to replace Kieran Hayward. McDowell White enjoying a little one-on-one battle with Jonah Tolmer there. That's going to be an offensive foul against Michael Taylor. 3rd personal for Michael Taylor, 16th foul for the Mustangs, and Sam Boone's going to check in, and Taylor will have a seat on the bench. So the 2 starting big men for the Mustangs getting into a little bit of foul trouble right now. Tim Suarez picked up his 4th personal, and now Michael Taylor has 3. With 10:08 to play, the Mustangs holding on to an 8-point lead right now. A little delay as they get some of the moisture up off the floor, and so back to the action now for Vanguard. Tolmer directing traffic, trying to get Mohammadi to come towards him. Doesn't like that. Throws the ball. Sek wasn't expecting it. Picked up by Gentry. His shot no good. And now McDowell White's going to get called for the foul when he thought he had all ball. Third personal for McDowell White. 7th team foul for the Mustangs. So Aziz Sek, 51% free throw shooter, will go to the line for the 1-1. McDowell White's going to have a seat, so 3 starters now on the bench, getting into a little bit of foul trouble for the Mustangs. Jay Turley will come in for the Masters. Sek will make the first, front end of the 1-1. First point of the game for Aziz Sek. Remember, he's playing with 4 personal fouls. Makes them both. 6-point difference. We're inside of 10 minutes to play in this one. Turley, great pass to Sam Boone. What a dime from Jay Turley. Now they're going to call Turley for the foul as Jonah Tolmer stumbled over his own feet. I'm looking over at Kelvin Starr, and he's just eyes to the sky. Just can't believe it. And he had to walk down to the far end of the bench. Third personal for Jay Turley. Both teams now with 18 fouls, so Tolmer with the 1-1. And this is the first. Vanguard 13 of 20 from the free throw line as Turley tries the 3. Sam Boone comes up with a rebound, then he's going to be fouled by Tolmer. That will be the 4th personal for Jonah Tolmer. Mentioned how Vanguard shooting 13 of 20 from the free throw line. The Mustangs are 11 of 21. So Philip Willis will come in for Tolmer. And Sam Boone will go to the line for the 1-1. Sam is now 3 for 3 from the line tonight, helping to keep Vanguard at bay. Mustangs with the 9-point lead. Make it a 10-point lead. Willis to Gentry. Now over to Wilson. Wilson trapped down on the baseline. Now Willis, the 3 attempt. That one's going to go off the rim. Picked up by Wilson. Twice, 3rd time's a charm for Christian Wilson. Ten points now for Christian Wilson. He is the leading scorer now for Vanguard. 6 rebounds, also pacing the team. Turley's going to get fouled. It'll be Philip Willis, his 3rd. 10th team foul, so the double bonus now for the Mustangs. And Jay Turley to the line, he'll shoot 2. Tonight he is 0 for 2 from the line. .56% free throw shooter on the season for Turley. Michael McGee is going to check in. He'll come in for Aziz Sek for Vanguard. Turley makes the second, his first point of the game. 8.5 to go. Mustangs up by 9. Here's McGee. Has Brock Gardner on him. Gentry, the turnaround is good. Isaiah Gentry now with 9 points. All coming here in this second half. And that's going to be Philip Willis called for the foul. That will be his 4th. So Willis will join Sek and Jonah Tolmere as Vanguard Lions, who have 4 personal fouls in this game. And Turley will be back to the line to shoot 2. You saw that last one go through, and sometimes that's all you need. It's now 2 of 5 from the line is Turley, looking to make it 3 of 6. 8-point lead for the Mustangs. Michael McGee drops the ball off to Gentry, pulls the trigger on the 3. Christian Wilson gets the rebound, but then there's going to be a foul. And this one's going to be against Sam Boone. Second personal for Boone. So that'll put Christian Wilson to the line to shoot 2. First free throws tonight. Wilson a 50% free throw shooter. As Tim Suarez and Daryl McDowell-White will both be checking back into the game. Remember, Tim playing with 4 personal fouls. McDowell-White playing with 3 personal fouls. Wilson missing. Starr gets it to Tim. Back to Starr, back to Tim Suarez. And now Suarez is going to get fouled. And if that's going to be against Willis, he'll foul out. And it is against Willis. He has fouled out of this game. So Brett Soliday deciding to put James Moore into the game for Philip Willis, while Tim Suarez waits, ready to shoot free throws. He should have 2 free throws. Again, the Mustangs in the double bonus. Tim is now 4 of 7 from the line. The Mustangs' free throw shooting woe is starting to turn around here in this second half. Makes them both. 17 of 29 now for the Mustangs from the free throw line in this game. Here's McGee. Tries to spin, but McDowell-White is right there. Moore underneath, working on Gardner. Gets it over to Wilson. Wilson trying to work on Suarez. He's going to have that one knocked away. I think that was Tim that knocked it away. Might have been Starr coming in from the backside. But Vanguard will maintain the possession. They'll have 7 seconds on the shot clock as Dominic St. Leon will check back in. He'll replace Christian Wilson for the Lions. Moore, turn around, up and over the top of Suarez, and we're going to have a foul. This one's going to go against Vanguard. They're going to call it against St. Leon. 3rd personal for Dominic St. Leon. Of course, with the Mustangs being in the double bonus, that means Jordan Starr is going to go right to the line to shoot 2. First free throws of the game for Jordan. He makes the first. That's his first point of this game. Jordan Starr averaging better than 8.5 points a game. His 4.8 assists per game makes him third in the conference in assists. He makes both of those free throws for his first 2 points of the game. Mustangs up by 12. It is now their largest lead of the game. Gentry driving the paint. Gets a step on Suarez. Lays it in, and then there's a foul. The foul will be called against Jordan Starr. His third personal. You had to hold your breath there for a second, because if that was against Suarez, that would have meant his fifth, and he would have been out of the game. Meantime, Isaiah Gentry to the line to shoot one. He is 1 for 1 tonight from the line, trying to complete the three-point play. And he does. 12 points for Isaiah Gentry, the leading scorer, and all 12 of those points have come here in the second half. Leading scorer for Vanguard, let me be crystal clear. Leading scorer in the game is Daryl McDowell-White. He's got 20. That ball knocked out of bounds by Vanguard. So Mustangs will hold on to the possession. Gardner underneath. Does not go. James Moore had the rebound. Gets it over to McDowell-White. Suarez for three. McDowell-White kicks it out to Jordan Starr. He says, I'll take a shot at the three. He's got it. First field goal attempted of the game for Jordan Starr, and he knocks down the three. 5 points now for Starr. And moisture on the floor. The officials working to try to get that cleaned up. That was a big three for the sophomore Jordan Starr. Wooden Award winner from a couple of years ago when he was in high school, winning the Division V Wooden Award. Was the Division V California State Player of the Year as he led Santa Clarita Christian to a state championship. Starr in his sophomore year. Here's McGee to Moore. Moore working on Suarez. And Tim able to knock that ball away. St. Leon comes up with the ball. That shot doesn't go. And Suarez pulls down the rebound. He's got 8 to go with his 11 points. Gardner, long three, and it's too long. And a timeout called by Vanguard, stopping the clock with 5:56 to play. But the Mustangs with the 12-point lead, 61-49. Well, next up for Vanguard, they'll be going to Fullerton on the road to play the Royals of Hope International. A Saturday afternoon game this Saturday, 2 days from now. 4 p.m. start time for that game. The Mustangs will also be on the road Saturday. They'll get a night game as they'll play Life Pacific on the road, a 7:30 start time for that. And while I got a moment, let's go see what's happening up in Santa Barbara. Well, it's still showing on mine anyway, still tied at 34, so maybe something is a little off on what we're getting. Menlo, though, holding on to a 12-point lead over Arizona Christian, 89-77. That still has 4:23 to play in the game. Remember, Arizona Christian coming into that game on the road up in Menlo. Arizona Christian ranked number 23. Mustangs found out how difficult it was to play up there in Menlo last weekend. Actually, it was before that, the weekend before. Let me be crystal clear. The Mustangs on the road losing in Rockland to William Jessup 82-80, and then going over to Menlo on the Saturday and losing to the Oaks 87-76. But the Mustangs were able to bounce back, get a road win in Santa Barbara last Saturday. That ball is going to be knocked out of bounds by Suarez. That's too bad. I was really wanting to get a good look at that Hope Westmont game. Still showing tied at 34. Clearly I've got some bad information. That one's moving on. As James Moore trying to work his way against Suarez. Blocked by Suarez. Loose ball picked up by DJ Wilson. Over to Gardner. Over to Suarez for a little alley-oop. DJ Wilson, 6-foot junior, had his fingertips on the rim, but he had to lay that one in. So beautiful play. 14-point lead now for Masters. And that's going to be an offensive foul called against Michael McGee. And that was DJ Wilson who took it. Mustangs looking to build on their 14-point lead, already the largest lead that they've had in this game. And that's going to be a foul that's going to be called against St. Leon. And I believe that will be his fourth. Yes, it will be. And he fouled Tim Suarez. So once again, Suarez back to the line where he's been the most tonight for the Mustangs. 5 of 8 from the free throw line. Scores table wanting to get some clarification on who the foul was against. And they verified that it was, in fact, against Dominic St. Leon. Both teams, by the way, in the double bonus. And Tim now at 12. 12 points. So Jonah Tolmere will come into the game. He's got 4 personal fouls. He'll replace St. Leon, who sits down with 4 personal fouls. Tim makes both of the free throws, now 7 of 10 from the line, 13 points. Second leading scorer behind Daryl McDowell-White and just ahead of Brock Gardner, who's got 12. There's Gentry driving. We're going to have a whistle, and he's going to be fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. And it'll be Daryl McDowell-White called for the foul. That'll be his 4th. Gentry 2 for 2 tonight from the free throw line. The leading scorer for the Lions with 12 points, but he misses that one. The free throw shooting woes were quite strong in the first half. They have come back, have both of these teams. Vanguard now 14 of 23, make it 15 of 24 from the line. The Mustangs are 21 of 33. So both teams hovering around 62-63%. That ball is stolen from Starr, laid up by Masi Mohammadi. Mohammadi now with 8 points. Offensive foul against the Mustangs. They're going to call Brock Gardner with the offensive foul. His second. 4.5 to play. Tolmere gives it to Gentry. Pops up for 3. Got it! Third 3 of the game. Isaiah Gentry now with 16 points. All of those points coming here in this second half. Jordan Starr for 3. Got it. Second 3 of the game for Starr. He's only attempted the 2 threes. So he's a perfect 2 for 2. Tolmere feeds nicely to James Moore, who I think probably got away with a walk underneath the basket. But it cuts the difference to 11. Here's Starr. Getting it to Wilson. Wilson to the left elbow, pulls up for the shot, in and out of the cylinder, and Moore grabs the rebound for the Lions. Tolmere, nice little stutter step, gets past Daryl McDowell-White, who then fouls him. Tolmere will go to the line for the three-point play. Daryl McDowell-White has fouled out of the game. So now Kelvin Starr has a decision to make. Who does he put in? And he has decided Jay Turley is the guy to come in. Christian Wilson will check in for Vanguard. He's going to come in for James Moore. Now Don Gilmore, who's the official scorer here today, calling over the officials to get something clarified. They reset the shot clock to 30 seconds. So Jonah Tolmeyer to the line. Eight-point difference. Starr for three in the corner. Does not go. McGee grabs a rebound for Vanguard. Still have a lot of time and a lot of basketball left to play. Mohammadi for three. Got it, and a difference is now 5. DJ Wilson giving it over to Gardner. Gardner working on McGee. The little finger roll doesn't go. Jonah Tolmere grabs the rebound. Quickly bringing it down is Tolmere. Christian Wilson telling Tolmere, let's slow it down, slow it down. Here's Gentry. Drives. Good defense from Tim Suarez, who made that a difficult shot. The feed from Jordan Starr to a streaking Brock Gardner. Lays it in, and he's fouled. And the foul is going to be called against Jonah Tolmere, and that will be his 5th. Oh, my mistake. I thought he put up a 1, but it was Michael McGee called for the foul. 3rd personal for McGee. Gardner can't complete the three-point play. 2:15 to go. Mustangs up by 7. Tolmere, nicely done. Jonah Tolmere, 6'10", just went right around, 5'10", went right around the 6'10" Tim Suarez. Here's Jordan Starr. Gardner with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Tries a bounce pass into Suarez. It's going to be taken away by Christian Wilson. Minute 35 to go. Long shot for Gentry. He's got it. And the lead is 2. Isaiah Gentry has caught fire in this second half for the Vanguard Lions. 19 points here in this second half. 4 threes, 4 of 9 now in the game for Gentry. And can the men's team from Vanguard duplicate what the women's team did earlier here at Bross Court, as it was a Vanguard victory for the women's team, 61-60, to give the Mustangs, the Lady Mustangs, their first loss of the season after 19 straight wins. Best start in program history. And also broke a 20-game home win streak for the Lady Mustangs. The men's team for the Masters sitting on a 48-game home win streak. They have led by, I believe, as much as 14 in this game, but the lead right now is sitting at 2 with a minute 23 to play. So the Mustangs are putting Jordan Starr, Tim Suarez, Jay Turley, Brock Gardner, and DJ Wilson on the floor. Vanguard's going to counter with James Moore, Christian Wilson, Masi Mohammadi, Jonah Tolmer, and, of course, Isaiah Gentry. I don't think Rhett Soliday, the head coach for Vanguard, wants to take Gentry off the floor ever. Not after he's put in 19 second-half points to close the Lions to within 2. Now here's Gardner. Wilson. Back to Gardner. 10 on the shot clock. Gardner losing control of the ball. Timeout called by by Kelvin Starr, the Mustangs head coach. So the Mustangs will maintain the possession, but coming out of the timeout, they're going to have just 5 seconds on the shot clock. And this will be a full timeout. Tomorrow night here at Ross Court in the MacArthur Center, history is going to be made. Join us, as I'll have the call at 6 p.m. Pacific time for the first ever men's volleyball game for the Masters University. The university adding men's volleyball as well as women's beach volleyball to their spring schedule. The Mustangs, of course, joining the GSAC in volleyball. As I said, they have yet to play a game. They're going to be playing the Bobcats from UC Merced. Merced coming in 3-4 on the season. Again, it's going to be tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. I'll have the call courtside here. So please join us. If you can't come to the gym here, then make certain you tune in as history and the men's volleyball program under head coach Alan Vince, who is the head coach for the women's program. Of course, Alan Vince, former standout at UCLA, played on the U.S. men's national team as well. Inbound goes right to Suarez, who has his opportunity under the basket, but he's going to get fouled by Christian Wilson. Suarez will go to the line. He is 7 for 10 from the line in this game. "57 seconds on the clock here at the MacArthur Center. Suarez makes the first. He'll get a second one. Can't get it to go, but Brock Gardner, a huge rebound, and he is fouled. Now, I believe they're calling it out against James Moore. Yes, they are. Second personal for Moore. So now that's going to put Gardner to the line. Brock tonight 4 of 5 from the line. Brock's going to get 2. Important free throws right here, as Michael McGee is going to come back into the game for Vanguard. He's going to replace Christian Wilson. Gardner makes both. 5-point lead for the Masters, 55 seconds to go. Gentry trying to feed the ball into Masi Mohammadi, but that ball is going to be knocked away by the Mustangs. So Vanguard will be inbounding under their basket. Moore for three. Does not go. DJ Wilson with the rebound. And then he's going to get fouled. And that's going to be Michael McGee, called for the foul, his fourth. But that will put DJ Wilson to the line to shoot two. His first free throws of this game coming into tonight's game. DJ Wilson, 9 of 13 on the season. Mustangs now 25 of 39, 64%. As a team from the line, now make it 26 of 40. And it's a 7-point lead, 33 seconds to go. Jonah Tolmer does a little scoop and a finger roll, lays it in, and that's good. And Rhett Soliday immediately calls timeout, stopping the clock with 30.6 seconds. And it's a 5-point Mustang lead. By the way, Brock Gardner and Tim Suarez both named to the Bevo Francis Top 100 watch list. This award is given annually to the player, quote, who has had the finest overall season within the NAIA, NCAA Division II, NCAA Division III, USCAA, or the NCCAA. So both Gardner and Suarez put on the top 100 watch list. Brock Gardner, with his 19.6 points a game, ranks him 13th nationally. And as for Tim Suarez, his 57% field goal percentage puts him 20th in the nation, but more impressively, his 30 blocks on the season rank him 6th in the nation. So something to watch for both of those young men. Both in their senior year, their final season playing for the Masters Mustangs. Coming out of the timeout, again, 30.6 seconds. Masters with a 5-point lead, full court pressure put on by the Lions. Mustangs looking to inbound the ball. And Turley calls a timeout before the 5-second violation happens. This will be just a 30-second timeout. Kelvin Starr, again, a reminder, if he's able to hold on to this win, that will be his 100th win as the head coach for the Masters University. Starr, the reigning GSAC Coach of the Year. Mustangs, the 3-time defending GSAC tournament champions, 2-time defending GSAC regular season champs. They finished second 3 seasons ago. However, once they get to the national tournaments in each of the last 3 years, they have been knocked out of the first round. In fact, one of those years, they were the number 1 team in the country. So the Mustangs absolutely looking to not only repeat as GSAC champions, but also take a much further run into the playoffs. And that ball was knocked out of bounds, I believe, by Vanguard. A few more seconds ticked off the clock, 28.8 seconds. Now Kelvin Starr is going to call another timeout. This time it's going to be a full timeout. And I was watching Coach Starr. He was looking at James DeMondren, one of his assistants, and was just shaking his head. And I think he's just feeling like, well, whatever we were trying to make happen, that's just not going to happen. So we got to dream up something else. So Coach Starr has pulled out his whiteboard. He's got something ready to draw up. Tim Suarez, we were talking about both he and Brock Gardner. Suarez, a 2-time All-American, 2-time GSAC Defensive Player of the Year. Number 1 in scoring in conference games is Tim Suarez this year, averaging 21.7 points a game. He was the Player of the Week, joining his sister as the GSAC Players of the Week this year. Steph Suarez, the 6'6" sophomore center for the women's team. Clearly one of the best in the nation. What a family. And I know Mama Suarez listening down in Brazil. Glad you're joining us. Inbound goes to Gardner. So at least the Mustangs were able to complete the inbound, and Gardner was fouled immediately, so he'll go to the line to shoot 2. It's going to be Michael McGee, tabbed with his 5th. So McGee has fouled out. And Soliday will immediately go to Kieran Hayward. Gardner, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. 27.8 seconds on the clock. And he misses them both. There's Gentry bringing it down, and he throws it away. Trying to get it to Hayward. Hayward was cutting in. Big turnover committed by Vanguard. Good inbound to Gardner, and then he's going to get fouled immediately by Mohammadi. Just the second personal for Mohammadi, but it will put Brock Gardner back to the line, hoping to see if he can amend the last time when he went 0 for 2. Brock sitting at 16 points, 7 rebounds in this game. Daryl McDowell-White fouled out earlier. Right now he's the leading scorer with 20. 20 points, 8 rebounds. Tim Suarez with 14 points and 8 rebounds. Brock makes the first. 19 seconds exactly to play. So it's a 7-point lead for the Masters. Jonah Tolmere gets it to Gentry, puts up the long 3. He's got it! 12.7 seconds. And Moore is going to foul Jordan Starr. That'll stop the clock with 11 seconds exactly. The Mustangs leading by 4. Jordan Starr tonight 2 for 2 from the line. On the season, Jordan Starr a 56% free throw shooter. Now he makes it a 5-point difference, 78-73, 11 seconds. Tolmere pulls up for the 3. Doesn't go. Brock Gardner gets the rebound. He's going to get fouled. 3.8 seconds on the clock. Brock will be shooting 2. I did not see who they called the foul on, but it doesn't matter for me. They're showing Kieran Hayward. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The lights are starting to dim Gardner makes them both. Tolmere launches up the three, banks it in. It's going to be good. So that's going to make the final 80-76. The Masters will win it. They will improve to 16-3 overall, 6-2 in conference. And congratulations to Kelvin Starr getting his 100th win as the head coach of the Masters men's basketball program. As they defeat the Vanguard Lions, Vanguard will drop to 10-10 overall, 3-5 in conference play. Masters next up on the road this Saturday at Life Pacific, while Vanguard on the road in Fullerton. They'll take on Hope International. Again, the final, the Masters 80, Vanguard 76. For all of us associated with the Masters University Athletics, I'm Dave Caldwell. Thanks for being with us, everybody. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Friday night, men's volleyball, the first ever match played by the Masters. Good night, all.